My roommate wants to end their contract because they found out I own the house. What should I do? This is OKOP, home of the craziest true stories on earth. I'm Sophia, and Riley, what should OP do?
You can force people to stay, right?
That's a little bit scary.
But I mean, like, if
you say you have to stay here.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to leave.
Just do that. If it's putting you that much in a bind, just force them to stay.
Yeah, I don't know how contracts work, but I feel like you're not allowed to just skedaddle.
Whenever we moved in, Sam was just like, sign these papers as fast as you can.
And I'm assuming they're legally binding.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
We haven't left since.
Yeah. I don't know actually how to segue now that I can't say spill that tea.
This is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, just do it now. Just be like, segue.
Segue. That's the new.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Segue.
Let us know if you like that one better.
Yeah, because you guys really hate spill that tea.
It really hurt John's feelings.
Yeah, John really tried to make it a thing. So you burning my bridges 72 says, also sorry for my voice. I had laryngitis and it's slowly coming back.
She went to a concert. She would not stop screaming.
This isn't true, but if it makes me sound cooler, then it is true. So burning my bridges 72 says, brief backstory. About a year ago, my last remaining grandparent passed away and my father inherited all assets, including a house.
Oh.
I had been saving for a nice down payment, at least 50%, so I could have a lower mortgage payment each month, thus allowing me to save money for travel. That's great. That's a great deal. When my father inherited this house, which he had no interest in moving into yet, he offered to sell it to me for slightly below market rate, with the caveat that he and my stepmother could eventually move into the basement apartment. Interesting. I agreed because they're both incredible people who are not at all invasive and would give me privacy if they lived there. So I paid a 60% down payment, financed the rest, and moved in. That's what do you think about that arrangement, Riley?
That is like great money skills. Well, that's what I'm looking at is like how well they handle their finances.
Yeah, and also if you like your parents, I feel like that's vibes.
That's true. Would you want your parents to live in your basement?
I don't know if they would want to live in my basement. I don't know if I could convince my parents to like live in a basement, but maybe it's a really nice basement.
Yeah, I think I would.
Well, yeah.
That's pretty chill.
Oh, you think you would have your parents live? Not that you would live in a basement.
No, like they would live in the basement.
They would live in the basement.
I'd feel bad. If the basement was cool, I'd live in it, but I'd be cool with like my parents living that close.
Yeah, no, that would be fine. Present day. About 6 months ago, I started considering renting out the finished basement apartment. It had 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a living room, and a small kitchenette, sink, fridge, microwave, but no oven. A friend of mine said his brother was moving to my city and needed a place. He's a brand new teacher and doesn't make great money, so he needed a place that wasn't expensive. I offered to let him rent my basement for way less than market rate, $650, which would include utilities. He readily accepted and signed a year-long lease. Wait, the market rate is $650 and OP is renting for less? Is that the deal? Because that's great. Maybe just because I live in LA, I'm like, wow, $650?
I was paying like around $600.
That's crazy.
Like $550 for rent and utilities.
For your own room?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a 2-bedroom apartment.
That's so nice. Oh, wow. Everything is cheaper not in LA. Well, a few days ago, he asked if he could start paying the landlord directly instead of giving me rent money each month. I was under the impression my friend had told him I own the house, so I was confused, and I told him we don't have a landlord and that I'm the owner. He got very upset and screamed at me for lying for over 6 months and taking advantage of him by making him pay so much in rent. For the record, an apartment similar to the one in my house would be well over twice what he's paying me, closer to 3 times for something as nice. He asked how much of my mortgage he's covering, and I said, why does that matter? You're getting a nice, quiet place to live, access to a full kitchen and laundry room, and you're paying an amount that you can afford. My personal finances aren't really a factor here. He stormed out of the room and slammed the basement door. He's still not speaking to me. I feel like that's like a him problem. Like if you don't realize, like I feel like you should ask who your landlord is.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the first thing you should do.
Yeah, so far I feel like it's both of their problems. Like one, like
it should be clear, but like
clear communication everywhere around.
Like someone should have told this guy, but also like after 6 months, you didn't know that they were your landlord. I don't know. And also it seems like he's getting a good deal. But yeah, they should.
But he doesn't know that. He thinks it's just like
I don't know,
regular because It looks like he's new to the world.
He's new to the world. He's never been in a house.
Never been
in a house. Never been in a basement.
Never had to pay bills.
No, never ever. I asked a few other friends and some family members, and most said I'm wrong for having him cover my mortgage payments. Only a few say I'm in the right. So am I the a-hole for having my roommate cover $650 of my $775 per month mortgage?
No.
I mean,
you've done like 60% of the work already.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I don't know how, what do you think, Riley? You say no?
No, because like she put 60% of a down payment down.
Yeah, that's true.
And like she knows what the market rate is in her hometown, and she's giving this guy a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? This mortgage is $775, and he's paying like most of it.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't make sense. What do you think? Is this fair?
I mean, this is kind of tricky because I feel like that. Like, I feel like if I found out that the mortgage was like that much, like it might. Or for this guy, it might be like, oh, well, I'm paying way more than you're paying for the mortgage. But also it's like, they put the down payment. So
yeah. It's the down payment for me. If I didn't know the down payment, I'd be like,
yeah, but maybe I don't know.
I have an okay story time.
Okay.
About
we'll come
some
back.
roommates.
I guess I just don't know about too much about mortgages yet.
Yeah.
I can't afford to buy a house.
Yeah. The only way I could buy a house is if I find a cougar Malibu cougar.
A cougar Malibu.
A cougar Malibu.
A cougar from Malibu in the hills.
Exactly.
Like an actual cougar.
No, like an older lady.
No, like an actual cougar that you teach tricks, and then you take on the road, and they start bringing in a bunch of money.
Actually, that might be better than the other route.
Exactly.
Way more fun.
Yeah.
Well, the other route would be fun.
And okay, ETA. He has a lease, so I won't be evicting him over this alone. If he does any damage or becomes hostile, I'll look at the eviction process. But for now, he will remain unless he chooses to break the lease, which I'd allow him to do if he wants. I guess that's nice. He also didn't bother to read the lease before signing. The lease clearly states I'm the homeowner. I didn't trick him or keep info from him. He simply didn't read what he was signing. That changes everything.
Yeah.
You should always read the lease before you get into you should always read any contract before you get into like any sort of deal. Because did you not read the contract, Riley?
No, Sam just said signing for this house. He just said, it's fine. Just sign it. You don't have to read it. It was like 50 pages long. Did you read it?
Yes.
You read 50 pages of the contract lease?
I skimmed. You skim it. You go through the most important parts. Some of it's not important.
I was just
also
all in.
Like the main contract wasn't 50 pages. It was just like, here's the lease.
It was a lot.
It wasn't that much.
I just signed it. Just
Riley doesn't know that everyone but him is an owner, and we're all making him pay 90% of the mortgage.
Dang, that is a cheap mortgage then.
For listeners, I'm joking. This is not true. Riley's getting a completely fair and equal deal, and we didn't stick him in the basement. There's no basement.
I signed an NDA, so I really can't say anything.
We can't tell you anything more. I didn't get the house for almost free, as some people choose to believe. My father sold it to me for about 75% of its value, more or less, as an advance on rent he and my stepmother will pay when they move in here in a few years. Wait, so it was the father's before.
Yeah.
So they saw, because I feel like if you get it from your parent, that also changes things too.
That does, yeah. But they still put 60% down. Of 75%. I want to know how much this cost.
Yeah, it seems like
I'm going to do the math. I'm
do some math. We got sold it to me for about 75% of its value. I don't know. I can't do math. Someone else do the math.
I'll
take all the numbers that we have been spouting and tell me if you think this is fair or not. We already agreed they won't pay monthly rent, but will contribute to utilities and groceries at that time. I also made a 60% down payment, so I have quite a bit invested, as well as paying about $1,500 per month out of pocket for taxes, insurance, maintenance, utilities, etc. Okay, so they are paying a considerable amount each month.
Yeah.
I feel like, so it's like the renter is paying $650 out of like the $750, and then they're paying that extra $100 plus the $1,500. So that's like,
oh wow. But the guy doesn't know. It sounds like the guy doesn't know, and you just need to clearly communicate that to him.
Yeah, but also like how much? Yeah, well, I guess being upfront and stuff, but also he should read the lease. I think I feel like that's the first step. Read the lease, and then if you still have questions, you can go talk to the landlord. This is some more info from OP's comments. I have no rules regarding when he uses the kitchen or laundry room. I work long hours, so I'm not home a lot of the day and evening. He gets in about 4 p.m. and I'm not back until closer to 8 p.m. He has full access to the entire first story, including a full kitchen and a laundry room. My name is on the lease. He didn't bother to read before signing. They're really driving that home. And then Adept Profit 9525 says, I bet utilities are at least $350 a month altogether. The man got a bargain. OP also says utilities and internet plus TV, which he has full access to, total almost $550 a month. Yeah, no, it seems like $650 is for your own room is a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Like you're for a house that you have pretty much full access to, and one roommate plus two parents later. Like that's pretty good. I think OP is fine, I think.
But also, he's new to the world and he doesn't know any better.
Yeah. The guy has never been out of...
Like, this is your first house that you've moved into.
Yeah.
Well, no, you had an apartment before.
Yeah, but I've never lived in a house besides, like, my parents' house.
That's true.
Yeah, so I can't speak too much on mortgages yet. But any of you out there who pay mortgages, tell us your thoughts.
Let us know if this is a okay deal or not.
Yeah. Also, like, if anyone, for the future, so we know if
give us some advice too.
If we're like, we want to buy a house, or if we want to make sure we're getting a fair landlord deal. Okay. Where did I ever say he was paying the utilities? I pay those for the entire house, including his apartment. My out of pocket is $1,500 in addition to his rent, which is stated clearly in the post. I'm only friends with his brother, and he thinks he's an absolute moron for being mad over cheap rent. Oh. He came over here yesterday and basically told his brother what an idiot he is, which made me laugh since I could hear him from upstairs. Emergency, I can't say your name because it's got a bad word in it. Says, have you ever had an interaction with your renters since his brother told him off? OP says, not at all. He uses his separate entrance to come in and out, and hasn't been to the first story in days. I can hear movement and noise in the basement, so I know he's there. He's just like living in the basement, not interacting with anyone. Emergency person says, have you talked to your friend after he told off your renter? I'm wondering how the outcome of their discussion went. OP says, briefly, he had no clue why his brother's acting this way. Curious by Moon says, wonder why he moved out of the last place. OP says his last place was his parents' house after graduation, and before that was a dorm. This is the first place he's lived on his own and paid his own rent. That makes so much sense, because that's like such a fair, like that's a great deal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, my first place was over $1,000 because it was La Jolla. I went to UCSD, and so La Jolla is like the closest place you can be in, and La Jolla is so expensive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, so I think this guy, I think you called it. This guy's, this is his first, that's such a good deal for your first place out of college.
I want to move in.
Yeah, let us in. We'll take his place. We should have a pretty good deal. Okay.
So, are they the a-hole?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
After all this,
after all that? No, I don't think so.
Okay. What do they need to do though?
It
seems he's still unhappy.
It seems like he's still unhappy, seeing as he hasn't like talked to them. He's just been in the basement.
Is there any way to mend this bond?
I don't know. I guess like at that point you just kind of have to be like, sorry, I'm the landlord.
Yeah.
But that's like that is also just like a weird power dynamic in a household. So maybe that's like something you just can't. I don't know.
And then another point, I don't know if we've mentioned it. OP is a female. And he's a guy, so I don't know how old she is. They said female in here.
I know, but then you said guy. Anyway.
A male and... Okay.
Yeah.
This is something me and her have been working through.
We've been working through it.
Apparently,
I'm trying to teach her.
Let's talk about this right now, actually.
We're not going to talk about it. Anyway.
She doesn't want to be proven wrong.
Yeah, so OP is a woman, and this guy is like her brother's friend or something.
I'm going to assume that the male is like 23.
Well, he's just out of college too, right?
Yeah, right out of college.
Yeah, he's right out of college. So he could be anyone from like 21 to 23, depending on how long it took him to get to college.
I'm just thinking from a 23-year-old perspective.
Yeah.
And like the woman, I don't know how old she is, but it sounds like I'm going to put her around like maybe like 27 or
yeah. I feel like she has to be like late 20s or early 30s, maybe.
Early 30s. Yeah. So if he might, there's like, here's my conspiracy theory.
Oh, but
if there's like a little bit of like a, ooh, I kind of like you kind of vibes. And then he's like felt betrayed and this whole thing in his head's getting screwed up.
I don't know. He just seems like
that's why he's so upset.
That's why. That's what's all coming together. I feel like he just doesn't know like what fair renting prices are. And he's like, well, because this is $750 and I'm paying $650, that's not fair. But in reality, like that's a pretty good price for.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
We'll just get to
thank you for your conspiracy. But there's an update.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. I intended to speak to him over the weekend, but he never returned my texts asking when a good time to discuss things would be. So Sunday afternoon, I sent a text stating I would be entering the basement at 6 p.m. Monday evening. He never replied. When I went into the basement, some of his belongings were there, but some weren't. Bed was there, but no dresser or side tables. And the second bedroom he was using as an office has nothing but boxes. The kitchenette was disgusting. The carpets were filthy and the walls had dents and divots in them and the paint. I left him a note stating he needs to do some repairs and clean the kitchenette so as not to attract vermin. Then I went back upstairs. Well, he came back in today early this morning and was fuming at me for entering the basement without permission. I told him I had given him more than 24 hours notice per the lease via text message before entering his area. His reply was that he didn't get that because he blocked my number. So somehow it's still my fault for not informing him I would be down there. I asked him if he intends to stay out the lease or if he wants to break it. He said he's leaving and will live in his car until he finds a new place. I told him that's fine and that if he has all his belongings out by the end of the month, I won't make him pay September and half of October's rent as the lease requires, and I'll refund the days he isn't here. Hold on. This is crazy. This is crazy.
He's gonna
like,
live in his car?
He's going to live in his car instead of paying $650 for rent for his own room.
And this dude's a teacher.
He's a teacher?
I'm pretty sure.
He doesn't have the money. He doesn't have that type of money. This is an insane reaction. I'm sorry. Even if I wasn't happy about like, the landlord being also my roommate, you suck it up.
Yeah.
You suck it up for $650. Like landlords aren't all, always the best.
And she doesn't seem overbearing or crazy.
But also, yeah, like there are some laws. Like 24 hours is the legal,
Yeah.
That is the thing that they can do. And that's crazy. I can't believe his choice. He chose living in his car over living in like the seemingly nice basement.
I'm just imagining him coming to school on a Monday after living in his car all weekend. And then the kids are like, Mr.
Give him a name.
Mr. The only thing that comes to mind is Smith. Mr. Smith, why do you smell so funny? Mr. Smith, you haven't shaved in a couple days. Are you okay?
Because all kids notice, they're like, Mr. Smith, you haven't shaved in a couple days. Have you ever asked your teacher? Have you ever pointed that out?
I mean, I do know when they're having a good day and a bad day.
That's just a side thing. I don't know how it relates. Kids these days are crazy. That's all I got. That's the overarching theme. They're on their iPads. Okay, wait. Let's get back to the story.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Okay. He tried to tell me he doesn't need to pay that rent because he has 45 days to vacate, but that's only the notice period if he intends to leave. The lease still requires rent for those 45 days. So he's mad about that. I told him I'm being kind by letting him out early with zero financial repercussions. He was also told he's required to leave the apartment as clean as it was when he moved in, which was spotless since I had it professionally cleaned prior to his lease beginning, or he would not get his deposit back. He's throwing a tantrum about that too. He seems to be working on clearing the rest of his stuff out now. I told him when he's done, send me a notice in writing, text or email, and I'll send him a refund for the days in August he isn't occupying the apartment. I have indoor Ring cameras that I turned off when he moved in, but I've turned them back on until he's gone. I don't trust that he won't do more damage. Right now, I've locked myself in my office on the second story since he's really mad and was throwing things around in the basement and main kitchen. His brother and sister-in-law are also coming over in the next hour or so because I don't feel entirely safe being alone in the house with them. As soon as he gives me notice that he's completely vacated the apartment, I'll be deleting all the passwords and codes for all the deadbolts, alarm system, internet, etc., so he can't access anything at all. I'm ready to be done with him and to feel safe in my own home again. Thanks to all who read the original post on Am I the A-Hole? I'll post any additional updates here on my profile, though I hope this is the end of it. It sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, I started throwing stuff.
Like he's made a mess in of course there's, when you move out, there's wear and tear that you shouldn't be charged for. But like, it seems like he's done a little bit more than wear and tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, it's a good thing he's moving out because if he's this type of person, he's not respecting your place. And it sounds like it's a nice house.
It sounds like it was a nice house that OP did a lot of work on. And and they want to make it keep it nice for when their parents move in. And I feel like it's their first house. They might be their first house that they bought.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it sounds like this guy's a nightmare.
Yeah. Good thing he's moving out.
Yeah. Good thing he's leaving. But we got some comments from OP. He made some vague threats. Nothing I feel I should call the police over, but I still let his brother know just in case. My friend's wife is mad and is on her way over. My friend will be here after he finishes work. Mimi Mouse 66 says reality's gonna slap him so hard in the face. I agree. Mimi Mouse. OP says I think it already has. He moved all his stuff out, notified me of his complete vacancy of the apartment, and is already whining to his brother about not being able to find anything online in his price range, which I'm told is $800 per month with utilities included. He won't find that where we are unless he shares a bedroom with at least one other person. Why did he complain? I feel like if you are upset with your landlord but you're getting a good price that you can afford, just deal with it.
And there's nothing for him to actually be upset about.
There's nothing to be upset about. Oh my God. Also, this is I think it's even crazier that this is his friend's, or this is his brother's friend.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was trying to imagine one of my brother's friends, but I live with my brother's friends now. So it doesn't exactly work.
That's Christian. I don't know.
Yeah, Christian
Am I your
throwing
brother's friend?
I guess so, but I feel like at the same time.
We didn't start as friends.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian.
Yeah, it's Christian.
Just imagine Christian doing
Christian, moving in and being like, this is unacceptable to my house, because in this scenario, I own the house.
Yeah.
And he starts damaging things. That'd be crazy. Oh, and finally, OP's comment 3 months later. The former tenant begged to come back, but I declined. Oh my God. Actually, I offered him the apartment for over market value. Market value is about $2,500. And I told him he could come back for $3,300 to make him go away. He also declined my offer. No idea where he ended up. But after some of the names he called me after I wouldn't let him back, I don't care.
Ooh.
Oh my God. The market value is $2,500 and he was paying $650. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yikes.
Wow. This guy ruined his life.
Yeah. He's just living out of his car.
Which
could be a vibe if you do it right. I've seen a lot of videos about it.
Well, yeah, the what are they? The people living in vans, van life.
Yeah, van life or car life.
Car life. Van life, car life. That's not the problem. It's just that he gave up a really good living situation because he threw a hissy fit and then he's like, I want to come back. No. I don't like it. I'm still good friends with his brother. He's a good guy who laughed when I told him about my offer of $3,300 a month. I didn't ask where the former tenant landed. I like that OP's the former tenant. It's no longer mine. It's very formal.
No longer the brother's friend.
No longer the brother's friend.
Friend's brother.
The friend. Oh, the friend's brother. Yeah, there we go. It's the former tenant. I'm sure he has several roommates, but again, I don't really care. I will not be renting it out again anytime soon. I had to do some repairs, so I'm hesitant to let anyone else in. I may let my cousin's daughter move in next year, but I know her and know she's respectful of people's property, unless my parents move in before them. But definitely no more renting to strangers.
Nice.
Yeah.
That seems like a good call.
It seems like a good call. Yeah.
I feel kind of bad for their relationship, OP and the friend, because
oh yeah,
she did not see that the friend's brother was crazy. Do you think it hindered? But the friend also kept his brother in check. He's like, "Why are you being an idiot?"
I'm glad that the friend's brother, the friend to his brother was like, "Hey, you need to slow your roll, my guy."
Yeah.
It didn't work, but.
He tried.
Yeah, he tried, and that's good. Yeah, I'm glad that your OP and the friend's relationship is so solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. And the former tenant is out of the picture.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe the friend refers to his brother as the former tenant too. He's like,
God,
dude,
you know
that guy I'm related to, the former tenant. Yeah.
I have a story time.
Oh yeah, what's the okay story time?
So whenever I was moving out of my apartment, my brother was asking some of his friends about who would like to move in and whatever. So we talked to one of our friends and we were like, oh, this was how much it would be. This is what you would get. Yada, yada, yada. He's like, well, I have a deal right now and I'm not going to let it out. Apparently his apartment cost around $500 or $550 a month, like 2-bedroom.
It costs $550 a month for 2 bedrooms.
I live in like the middle of nowhere.
That's insane.
Anyways, so overall it's like around $600, $650 a month. He had his roommate paying $500 out of the $550 a month.
Wait.
Yeah, but he's paying the utilities though.
Okay.
He's renting. So like,
yeah,
he's on the lease and he's taking it from the roommate's.
Wait, he's not the owner.
He's not the owner.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, I don't know.
That's kind of,
that's not great. I did that with my name on the lease. My brother and I are on the lease.
Yeah.
But if I did that to my brother and like he found out and my parents found out.
See, I feel like that's what this guy thinks the situation is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not great. If you're both on the lease and you're making one person pay all
But he's not on the lease. It's just my friend.
Oh, he's subletting?
He's subletting.
Basically.
I'm
but they're both
sure.
living there.
They're both living there.
So he's not exactly subletting, but like, well, I guess that is the definition of subletting.
That's what I gathered.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he said he's been trying to buy a house for the past year or so, but I don't know.
Oh my God.
He's saving a lot of money.
Yeah, because he's not paying the rent. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's insane. But you know what's more insane?
What's that?
This next story. I moved out of my apartment after my roommate bought me a mattress. What? Am I the a-hole? Riley, what do you think?
Yeah, you are the a-hole. They're trying to do something nice for you.
Yeah, that seems like a really, I don't know, have any context yet. But that seems like a really nice thing to do.
Okay, actually, if they bought you a king size mattress and your room is like very small.
Yeah, they're trying to push you out.
Trying to push you out, yeah.
That's a sign.
Or if they got you a twin and you have a really big room. That's the only way.
Yeah, if they
I could see.
Yeah. Oh. So, logical command says, I was a broke server living in my car with my cat at the tender age of 21. That's really hard. I'm sorry. I saw a post on Facebook about a couple and their baby needing a roommate. Rent was $400 a month and I had my own bathroom, which was a lie. All the guests used it. The day I arrived, they said, can you actually do $500? That is a huge red flag. That is a huge red flag. You can't do that. How does that even work?
It's like you get there.
You sign a lease. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even need to know more. That's insane. That's a giant renting red flag. To my knowledge, they cannot make you pay more on the day you move in if you've signed a lease.
But you forgot one thing.
What did I forget?
This is Facebook Marketplace. Well, it is the wild west of entrepreneurship. Okay?
But if they sign a lease, they shouldn't be able to do that. So let's see if they signed a lease. Maybe they didn't. I was already moved in, so I agreed. Wait, no, OP, stand your ground. Things were fine, but I was paying $500 a month plus car insurance plus debt from school. And let's face it, I was very irresponsible with my money. I was sleeping on an air mattress and it popped one night, so I just slept on the floor. This is sad. One day, my roommate surprised me with a brand new mattress. I was really happy, but I said, you didn't have to buy me this. I can't afford this because I couldn't. They said it was only $600. We can take payments. I said, I really can't do that. Can you return it? They said, no. Oh my God. So that's not buying someone a mattress. That's saying, we got you a mattress. Pay me back.
Yikes.
That's crazy. You can't do that. These people sound horrible. Oh my God. So I slept on it for the month and dipped out after. Rent paid, of course. No payment towards mattress, though. They called me forever asking me to please pay them. I told them, no, the mattress is under your name, not mine. I didn't ask for more debt. This wasn't the worst thing they did. Oh my God, how can it get worse? The girl was always cheating on her husband, and one day I accidentally hit her side piece's car when pulling out of the driveway.
Oh my God.
OP, no. They tried to make an elaborate story about me hitting him on the road, and I didn't agree to that, and they said it's the only way her husband won't find out. I said I'd give them the money to fix the scratch and call it a day. They said we were good and I didn't need to pay them. Then I move out and they call the police to report a hit and run. I had a warrant out. I came to turn myself in, but I showed the cop the conversation, which all happened over Facebook, and showed them pictures of the cars that day, and the cop determined that was his fault for parking in a way I couldn't avoid hitting him. So it went on his record, not mine. Then the girl calls me asking me to please take it back before the cops come knocking on her door and tell her husband. I said, good luck, and blocked them. Years later, her husband's hitting me up on Snapchat trying to F. LOL, idiots.
Oh my gosh.
That's a crazy story.
What is this?
That's a crazy story. That's a horrible renter story. Oh my God.
You got some cheating and
You have
financial
a little bit of everything.
manipulation.
Yeah, we've got cheating. We got warrant out for their arrest.
Yikes.
Wow. This went way further than making you pay for a mattress. Whoa. Like that was the first red flag. I'm glad OP kind of like was like, no, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
They were like, that's a red flag. They saw the red flags and they booked it. And that's smart. Take a lesson from OP. What is there? You're not the a-hole.
No,
that's the first question. You're not the a-hole. These people are horrible and insane. Wow. That's crazy.
It sucks you were in a tight situation where like you couldn't move anywhere else and that was it. But
no, it seems like you didn't have a lot of like options. Yeah, no. That's pretty crazy.
Got one relevant comment.
Holly Diver Boy says, I have had an air mattress pop on me before. Then I slept on the floor for 2 weeks until I could get another one. Like Louis C.K. said, when you're poor, everything is closer to the ground. That's it. Yes.
Oh, I live on the floor.
You live on the floor?
Well, like my
because you
like
don't have
really
a
close
bed.
to the floor.
Oh, poor Riley.
But I like that. Like that's the
We're gonna buy
vibe.
Riley a bed frame and make Riley pay for it.
Bye.
We're gonna buy Riley a bed frame. Wait, okay. Logical Command says, I slept on an air mattress for almost a year this past year. My boss found out and bought me a bed, lol. I have money to get a bed, but I was saving for college without knowing I was so poor I could get a full ride scholarship from the state. Now I have money saved, a bed, and half an education.
Aww.
That's such a nice story. I'm glad someone got a bed paid for them because that's nice. Beds are expensive.
Yeah.
Beds are like, you have to get a mattress, and then also if you want, you can also get the bed frame.
Then you got to get sheets.
And then you have to get sheets are so expensive.
Comforter.
Sheets are like good sheets, high quality sheets are so expensive.
What'd you get yours for?
I don't remember. I got them from Bed Bath & Beyond.
Same.
Yeah.
High thread count?
I think so. Because that's supposed to be better for you. Yeah. It's supposed to be like good for your skin or something. I don't know. Yeah. And they're supposed to last longer. That's the problem. Because like things that last longer are more expensive, but like most people can't afford those things. So they buy cheap things, but then they don't last as long. And it's a cycle.
Yeah.
A cycle. And also now they don't make, like fridges, like old fridges, like people with like really old fridges, they like still work from the 50s or something.
Yeah.
Because they used to make things well, but now they make things poorly, like air mattresses that pop. And that's
someone's heated up.
That's my terrain. Okay. But you know what gets me more heated up?
What's that?
This next story. I want to evict my sister because she has zero life skills. Is that fair? This is OKOP, home of the craziest true stories on earth. I'm Sophia and Riley. Should OP evict their sister?
No, they need to learn. They need to develop life skills, and you need to babysit her through all of those life skills.
Yeah.
Their parents failed her. You shouldn't.
It's all on you. This is actually written by Sam. No, I'm just kidding.
It may be.
It may be.
This did make me think of you.
What? I have life skills. I cook. I'm the only one who knows how to properly cook.
How to what? Properly cook?
Properly cook.
What about me? I cooked. Did you not see me cook that spaghetti last night?
No, I was at my audition.
You walked in as I was cooking it.
Oh, I did. That's true. Was it good?
Yeah.
We'll see. You have to cook something for the house. That's the next level.
Okay. Actually, I do want to cook something for the house. But you don't like chicken, though.
I don't not like chicken. I just don't eat chicken. I'm
Can you eat
pescatarian.
It? If I make chicken, will you eat it?
No.
If I make salmon, will you eat it?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. So, segue. I need something to say.
Let us say spill your tea.
No, I don't want to say spill your tea, but I need to say something to get me to the next point. Because otherwise it's just like, bah, 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 bah. Okay, moving on.
It comes with the craft. It comes with the job.
We'll learn. We'll figure something out, guys. So aggravating ear 337 says, longtime lurker, first time poster here. I, female 34, moved in with my younger half sister, female 27, last year, and it really opened my eyes to realizing every sibling has a different version of their parents, and also a lot of behaviors adults have is due to watching their parents do the same poop and or never teaching them life skills. Yeah, that's accurate. I am married, and after some unforeseen circumstances, I left my husband to be away for a while. She was eager to move out of our parents for the first time, and it seemed like a good idea at the time since rent is unbelievably high and I needed the other half of rent anyways. I don't have a story, but I do have a damn list of things that are driving me absolutely nuts, and I would really appreciate any and all advice, including if I'm the jerk here. Number 1.
Oh, we have 12.
There's 12? Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
It seems like you just don't want your sis. Maybe you're just not compatible. We'll find out. Number 1, she has a pet. Upon viewing unit, we were told no pets. The rent was too good to pass on, so she agreed to leave the pet behind at her parents. 2 months after move-in, I come home to this animal having been snuck in overnight, living here ever since, and essentially a one-way ticket out the door if we are caught. Parents and sisters planned this from the beginning. That's really annoying.
What's up with people not reading leases?
I hate that. Because I love pets. But if there's no pets in the lease, don't bring a pet.
Yeah.
And also discuss it with your roommates if you are going to bring a pet. If you're going to do something that's not allowed in the lease, you got to talk to your roommates. Number 2, she doesn't clean the litter box for days until the entire house smells, will then leave the trash bag in the house after cleaning it, so the smell continues to linger. That's the worst. Cat smell, cat pee smell does not leave a house.
It doesn't, no.
It can stay in the walls. It's like smoking. Is in your house.
Dude, I had an old friend that a cat peed on her bed and it forever lingered in her room.
That's horrible. That's horrible. No, cat's pee smell is just the worst. Number 3, if in the kitchen and opening anything with a wrapper, good luck getting her to find the trash can. I hate that. Number 4, if she does find said trash can, she will not open lid, will literally set trash on top of the trash can. She's out of there. She's out. If that was my sister, she's out. She's gone. That's my pet peeve.
It'd be like me, putting a banana peel on the counter.
On the counter, right next to the trash. Oh, that's the worst. This is horrible. No, you're not the a-hole. She's gone. Number 5, leaves food in bowls and then leaves it in the sink. All food accumulates in the strainer and leads to gnats and mold. That's so annoying. I had a friend who had roommates who would leave food in the sink, and it accumulates mold. It gets moldy if you don't clean out the food from your sink. That's disgusting. Number 6, doesn't put dry dishes away ever, will wash more and continue stacking on top, leading to a never-ending cycle of wet dishes. Number 7, doesn't understand how to wash dishes. Food, oil, and crust left on clean dishes is a regular occurrence. Number 8, I work from home. My office is in the living room. Will not sleep in her room, but rather on the couch. So it's impossible not to wake her up with my typing and meetings. Number 9, has her own TV in her room, yet insists on coming into living room while I'm watching TV and starting up a show on her iPad at full volume. Oh my God. Number 10, has daily group FaceTime calls every night starting at 10 p.m. that last until 2 a.m. She will take this call from the living room as well, laughing and screaming all night, knowing I am up at 4 a.m. for work.
Oh my gosh, I have
She's
a story
a nightmare.
about this. I have a story about that.
You have a story? I also have a story, but it's not like my story. It's like a friend's story.
Yeah.
Okay, two story times. This is getting worse and worse. I was kicking this roommate out, this sister out at number 2. I'm a pretty clean person, and this is my nightmare.
Oh, number 1 for me.
And this is
the cat thing?
The cat thing, actually, no, I forgot that was number 1. Yeah, done.
That's me.
I'm also allergic to cats, so it's doubly so for me.
Honestly, cannot blame her for number 9.
Wait, no, what's number 9?
Has her own TV in her room, yet insists on coming to the living room. Sometimes I want to hang out in the living room.
I like hanging out in the living room. That's different. But having the iPad full volume.
Yeah, iPad full volume, and then her being in the living room does lead in her sleeping in the living room, and then you work in the living room. So
I feel like when you I think it's that one is a little bit because I'm thinking like if you had a TV in the living room, I'd be like, that's fine. Like I had roommates who would watch TV. Like I would watch it. We both watch TV in the living room and have the volume on and stuff. That's fine. But I guess it just depends. Like you gotta, everything else coupled with that is not boding well for the sister.
Does. He'll watch like TV in the living room and then fall asleep. And I'll be like,
oh yeah, Sam, he does. He always watches stuff to fall asleep to. And when I like, well, yeah. When I used to live with him, it was so annoying because I would like.
Used to?
Oh yeah, well, when I lived with him as a child, I would always hear his like TV playing from the other room, and I'm a light sleeper, and it would annoy me. I would go into his room and I would have to turn it off. It was really annoying because he played it so loud. Anyway, number 11, calls my parents when it's her turn to buy household essentials so they can pick them up from Costco for her. She does not pay for them. I don't know.
That's what you do,
that
right?
sounds nice. No, sometimes. But no, okay. No. My mom just likes buying, like she likes buying kitchen appliances. Like it's her favorite thing. So I just.
That is true.
But also Sam benefits from that. So it's
in a way we all do.
Yeah. But also if one sister's, it seems like they're just playing favorites. I think that's the issue on that. Like, cause I feel like, if you're buying household appliances, they could both ask the parents, but it seems like only one is. So maybe, yeah, no.
Sometimes you're sharing them. Like if it's like, oh, we got chips. It's chips for us.
Yeah.
Us chips.
Yeah. I guess if it's like, if the sister's like, but it's household appliances. So it's not just like, food.
Like soap.
Yeah. That's like kind of annoying. Yeah. But no, that's a little bit annoying if the parents aren't offering to pay for the other sister, I guess, or the OP.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I think it would be annoying. Number 12, when her turn to do grocery shopping for the house, she buys BS like snacks and doesn't contribute to any actual food, leading me to have to pay for more groceries to make an actual meal for us. I think the solution to that is just don't buy communal food. Like I don't, Sam and I, well, actually we have that's in this situation, we do have communal food, but like with most roommates, I don't have communal food. Like we all have our own things. And if it's a problem, then you just have your own food. Yeah. And you're like, okay, you can buy your own stuff and make your own food. And then that fixes that problem.
It looks like she's also cooking for her. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. This is a nice sister.
It seems like, okay, you cook for Sam.
I do. But
I cook for my brother back home. Like I'll end up making something and he'll be like, hey man, I could have the leftovers. And I'll be like, as a nice person, you're like, sure, why not?
Yeah, I think there are scenarios where it's okay, but like if it's really bothering you, then you can be like, okay, we need to have separate food.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's that solution. Because I think because they're siblings, it makes a little bit more sense that, they're cooking together and stuff. Yeah, but
this is an interesting question. Let us know if you have lived with your siblings. Do you feel obligated to cook for them, or do you guys like figure that out? Because from what I've seen with Sophia, she does cook for Sam. And then me, I cook for my brother. I don't know if there's any. But
Sam and I have a deal. He pays for the groceries and then I cook them because he doesn't have any time because he's always recording. So this deal is actually working out for me because I don't have to pay groceries.
I did not make a deal like that.
Yeah, no, make a deal. I would not just make Sam food. That is not the type of, I'm not that nice. I don't have that kind of time. But if he's paying for the groceries, it really works out. I'm just the not in-house chef. I'm not cooking for everyone. So OP says, I know these aren't serious issues, but I'm so fed up and I don't know how to approach this, as every time I try to talk to her, she rolls her eyes, walks away, and calls my parents to complain so they can then call me and tell me to leave her alone. I unfortunately am stuck in this situation for a few years, so any help is appreciated. Oh, so you can't evict her.
No.
You just have to live with this. That sucks. I think number 1 for 12, you should have your own separate food.
Okay.
You should have your own separate food. Say, I'm sorry, I'm not cooking for you anymore, because it doesn't seem like it's an equal situation. Number 11, call your parents and say, hey, if you're going to buy her stuff, you should buy my stuff, or not at all. Number 10, turn off the Wi-Fi for these group daily FaceTime calls.
Yeah.
Just turn off the Wi-Fi.
Well, then she's going to wake you up and be like, the Wi-Fi's on.
The Wi-Fi's on. Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. I'm trying to solve everything here. Number 9, I don't know. I'm not going to solve all of these, but type in the comment how you think that we can lift these 12 burdens off of OP's shoulders.
Yep. You had
Herculean burden. I had a burden
from a friend.
Yes, I had an okay story time. So I had a friend who we went to the same college together. I knew them before, but so we went, so my freshman year, they were living in a dorm with someone we went to elementary school.
Okay.
And there was another guy who also went to our same elementary school. And he was like, hey, to my friend, he was like, hey, do you want to like live together our freshman year? Like, do you want to dorm together? Because, you know, it'll be nicer to live with someone you know than a stranger. And so my friend was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And so he lived with him. It was a triple. So he lived with this mutual guy that we knew from elementary school and another person.
Okay.
And so in this dorm room, the guy that not my friend, I need a third person. Third guy.
Third guy?
Third guy was like, that we both knew, would stay up until like 4 a.m. playing video games on like full volume and like screaming and stuff and keeping my friend up. And I was like a nightmare for him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also my story time. So my brother and I lived in an apartment together.
Yeah.
We didn't have internet growing up. So like online games were new to us whenever he moved in. So like bro would be up to like 4 o'clock in the morning, just like yelling, like banging on the table.
They get so intense with the video games.
They really do. I mean, it makes sense sometimes, but like
not 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That'd be my final. Because Sam and I we didn't grow up with like video games.
Yeah.
Like we weren't a video game household at all. We had like Nitrome and like mini clip. Those were our computer games. And that was the extent of it.
You do be playing that sometimes. Yeah. I've seen her play. She's just like, I'm like, oh, that looks like fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
And then we're working on a thumbnail.
Yeah, like we never had video games. And so we just didn't grow up with that. And like when I hear about people, you know,
doing that,
I'm like, wow.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. It doesn't add up.
But it took like 6 months and then he stopped.
Oh, okay.
He like got used to playing video games.
It's like when you introduce like drugs to, no, you don't like when you introduce like, you make drugs legal, something like a certain drug legal.
Oh.
And then it has this period of like, it gets like a lot, you know, like everyone's using it too much. And then it like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hype's gone.
The hype is gone.
Well,
that's it. That's all we have for you today.
Yep.
Hope you liked it. If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
And we love you.
And see you tomorrow.